thank you, everybody. We are back on a special episode of Season 4, Episode 3. We normally don't do a Friday night episode, but Jason has some things he wants to talk about. And as you guys know, he's taking a break from our usual Sunday show for probably a good portion of the football season. So we're going to get to that in a minute, but let me take care of business as always. Please, right now, while you're looking at that subscription button, hit it. As you can see, we're gaining followers slowly. Next goal is 600, and we're over the hump to 550, so we're well on our way. Hit the like button, comment, and then you got to share it. And I always say, you got Gopher friends, you got Husker friends, you got Cyclone friends. Share it to them, too. Just show them what a great, superior football team we have compared to theirs, right?
Right.
Okay,
I don't know if I have any friends from them people.
Okay, all right. So I do want to point out that there was football media days, and there's been some news and stuff the last couple days. However, we, Lord willing. We'll get that done on Sunday. Calvin and I will, and we're hoping that by that time Paul is able to be with us. I don't have permission from Paul to say what's going on, but trust me, he would be here if he could. Okay? So our thoughts and prayers are with Paul this evening. And Paul, if you're watching this, listening to it, comment on there and say, hey, boys, hi, fellas. Anything, Paul. And if you're resting, that's what you should probably be doing anyway. Anyway, hopefully we get to see him on Sunday. If not, we'll figure it out.
I'm sure we're going to talk a little bit about media days tonight too, right? A little bit.
Well, I wasn't going to go into a whole lot, but I can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
We'll see if we have time at the end, Jason.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about it as I go through my deal, because I found it. Some of the things that Kirk said was pretty funny to me. But,
Oh yeah, I found some stuff that was actually contradictory in one case, but kind of.
Well, I mean, he did his Kirk thing. He just kept it short and sweet, and he didn't really go into detail on a whole lot. But
no, and they never do. They never do.
Yeah. But I will tell Hawkeye Nation that Tim Lester is 100% has control of the quarterbacks, not Kirk. He no longer even makes a little bit of decision in the quarterback room anymore.
Yeah.
So people who send that to me all the time.
Yeah. If anybody had a chance to read Chad Lysicle's article, part 1 of the Tim Lester interview, he ended the article by saying the number one asked question that when he asked his followers for a question was, what is the point goals for this year? Average points. He wants to hit 30 points a game.
Yeah. I mean, that's
not too lofty considering he only has to gain 3 more points.
I mean, I feel like that's
a goal a game.
That's the point total every year for an Iowa, for a Kirk Ferentz coach team with the style of play. Mm-hmm. What helps the Iowa's defense is they're not on a field as long as a lot of defenses, because the offense, he wants ball control. I feel like 30 points that's what their goal is every single year.
Well,
even though
I was going to save this for Sunday, but let me bring it up now if I can find it. Okay, so I'll find it here this way. I just have to go into the Lester article and find it.
While you're looking for something, I want to say that Doctorman talked to Tim Lester, and they got 3 wide receivers on the depth chart, 3 starting position. And Lester told Doctorman, we're going to run 2 tight ends 60% of the time, 1 running back, because we're running the San Francisco offense, and that's how we seal the edge running the ball. And then he said we like to cluster our offense in the middle of the field. It gives us more room on the outside for pass. confuses the defense more and gives you more room on the boundaries. But this bullshit about, excuse my language, but this bullshit about a 3 wide receiver depth chart, it's
So
fine. We'll have 3 wide receivers 35% of the time, But.
So we're going to still use our tight ends more as because we didn't use them much last year.
It's the 49er offense, Watch them play. They use Youssef and Kittle about all the time,
All right, I'm almost to where I want to be, guys.
Okay, you got some more filler, Jason, while he's looking.
No, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the 2 deeps on the 3. There will be a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, and I'll give you the tight end sets.
Okay.
So, yeah, I have it as far as my depth chart. I have that. So.
Okay, so we're going to get your depth chart in just a minute. I kind of want to bring this up. Speaking of Lester and how much he's helped improve the offense. Okay, so scoring offense, they're from 15.4 a game in 23 to 27.7. That's a jump from 132 to 72nd, a 60 spot increase last year. Rushing offense went from 109 to number 24, jumping from 115 to 197 per yards per game. Only Penn State in the Big Ten had more yardage. Sacks allowed. This one I found interesting. We were number 100, so our defensive line wasn't doing the job that they should have. Offensive line, sorry, wasn't doing the job they should have because they gave up 32 sacks and they were number 100, and then they jumped to number 24 with only 17 last year, so they came close to cutting the sacks in half, which is great. Turnovers. From number 108 in giveaways, 22, to number 20, only 12 giveaways. That's an amazing stat right there, guys. Third down conversion, I found this great. 29% to 60%. Number 41. Okay, we went from 29% third down conversion to 41% conversion. Almost doubled our ranking on that. We went from 129 to 60. Red zone touchdown percentage. We were at 132 with 40% to number 57 at 63%. And this is the one I kind of made a comment today on some places, and I don't know if anybody commented on. Our completions percentage was 132 in 23, at 49%. To number 50, 62.7% is the program's highest mark since 2010. And I thought that was an amazing thing because when you find out that the last 3 games of the year that Iowa won, or was it 2 last games? I can't remember now. Anyway, Iowa ran the ball 74% of the time in those games. Think about that. That's a lot of running.
And we had a 5th string walk-on quarterback playing, so that's probably why, So
yeah, but I just wondered if they'd have had more shots to throw the ball, if we could have, with that kind of completion percentage, if we could have had a little more balance and maybe, we won the last 3 games, I believe, but still.
And we had a bunch of guys that didn't know the offense. They know it this year, so it'll be different. So
yeah. All right. Hey, Jason, you want to get started on your deeps?
Yeah. Here, 1 second. Well, maybe you guys remember who played backup center a year ago. Like, who took over when Jones got hurt?
Ellsbury.
Oh, Ellsbury. Yeah.
Ellsbury's gone now.
Everybody said all year, Ellsbury's better. These people that don't know crap about offensive line. Ellsbury's better than Jones. He should be playing. And Ellsbury starts in the bowl game and causes like 4 bad snaps.
Well, right. However, Ellsbury filled the role very well, is what I think.
Yes, he did.
Most people were saying he filled it very well. He wasn't better than Jones.
But that's what people were saying, though.
Yeah,
and to hear Jones didn't give up a sack all year and was the number 2 rated center
but
in the country last year.
right, and I mean, obviously, I disagree with that. I mean, nobody on the roster would be better than Jones at center, but Ellsbury was really good, so Ellsbury could be missed if something happens. Center is a position that I'm a little nervous about as far as the backup.
This year, I guess Pieper practices at center. Of course, he's starting at right guard. You got Mislinski, who's a center. He's the backup right guard, and you got Cale Winter, who's a very good walk-on.
Yeah, so, I have him as the backup center.
That's what he is on the depth chart. But and then Leighton Jones is practiced at center too. So.
Well, yeah, he's a guard though. But what depth chart have you seen?
There ain't no depth chart.
There ain't no depth chart. It don't sound like he's going to release one either.
They released one. They released one at the start of spring practice, and they're not releasing any. And nobody has moved up the depth chart since spring practice ended. And like 4 of the 5 starters in the offensive line in the spring didn't even practice because they took the spring off because they didn't need to practice. But
that's my point, though. You just said depth chart when there hasn't even been a depth chart. That's what I was saying.
I quoted Cale Winter from the January depth chart. You know,
and he's going to be the backup center because he's the only other center we got. But but my quarterbacks. Obviously, or Gronowski. QB1 will be Gronowski. Obviously, we can pray that he stays healthy. However, number 2, who's the best throwing quarterback on the roster, is Hank Brown. Bandy, I think he said that before. I'm not sure on your podcast, but he's right about Hank Brown being the best thrower, but he's not the best quarterback for what Lester wants to do. That the best quarterback on the roster is Gronowski for what Lester wants to do. I think Jimmy Sullivan could fill that void as far as running Lester's full offense. But I think number 3 is going to be Stratton because of experience and everything. With Heck Linksey as the 4th, I think Jimmy Sullivan will be stuck doing practice squad, stuff like that.
Now, can I just interject something that Kirk said yesterday at the press conference?
Yeah.
On that, he basically said to everybody that that Gronowski was going to be the starter. Okay.
Whoa, he said that?
Yes,
I didn't hear
that.
He said that Gronowski right now is the probable starter, and if the other 2 guys were Brown and Hecklinski, if they can beat him out, they can beat him out. But
yeah, he usually doesn't say
that. Can I finish my comment, though?
Hecklinski's the number 3 quarterback. But.
Okay, can I finish what my comment was? Because I wasn't even done.
Well, yeah.
Okay. He also said that he plans to have a 2-way race next year. He said, that those 2 would be battling each other for number 1 next year.
I believe that.
Okay, that's if they talk them both into staying, because one of them could leave.
Heck, Linsky isn't going anywhere.
All right, I just wanted to interject, but on the quarterback situation.
I think Stratton will be number 3. I don't think Heck Linksey will be. I think he'll be number 4. But
you forgot to tell Kirk.
Well, I mean, he could say that like he said. He said probable, right? And I'm surprised he said Gronowski is the starter. He never does stuff like that. So that kind of surprises me. But I think the whole world knows anyway. How much money they give Gronowski, Kelvin?
I ain't saying, but it's around $1 million, a little over. Not much. He broke the Lucy Olson record.
Yeah, I heard it was
$750,000. So
yeah, I heard it was.
Oh shit! I said that. I didn't say that. So.
I thought he was closer to $2 million.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Nope. Don't think so. No.
Anyway. We'll see, I guess.
Not that I know. Not that I would know.
But
Kelvin, you know these things. I know.
I gotta shut up. Damn it.
But
let him talk. Let the boy talk. This is his show tonight.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm getting myself in trouble by saying shit. So.
Oh, you haven't said enough to get yourself in trouble.
Oh.
Because the stuff that you told me, if you say that, then you're in trouble. All right, go ahead, Jason.
Okay, the running backs. It's going to be a running back by committee. Although I do think Moulton gets to 1,000 yards this year, but I think Moulton's going to average around six yards a carry. But I got Moulton as RB1, Patterson at 2. But Terrell's going to be used a lot on third down. He's going to be like your traditional third down back or receiving back. They're probably going to put him in the slot. They'll probably give him reverses and stuff. But Terrell Washington Jr. is going to see some action this year as well, especially in third down situations. Now, I have my guy, Brevin Dahl, who I just pray. I have some spots I would love for him to be on the field. I would love for him to be a kickoff returner with Weegen.
I would agree with that one. I would agree.
I really do.
With this kind of speed and stuff, you got to put him on the field somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I also have Xavier Williams that I'm hearing a lot of good things about Xavier Williams. He's like, I want to say he's 5'10", 230 or something like that. Like he is built to the ground, like his huge thighs.
Another Sean Green.
Yeah. I've heard great things. So he can move up the depth chart if we get injuries as well. And maybe not even with injuries if he's doing what they say he's doing. But those are my 5 running backs. I know there's a few others that are mixed in there, but those are I think if there's any injuries or anything, I think Xavier or Brevin. But I think Brevin could more take Terrell Washington's spot as far as a third down back type situation.
Yeah.
Although Brevin's he's like, what is he, 6 foot 210? Like he's over 6 foot. So he's an Eric Dickerson type running back with speed. And then the fullback is Hayden Large. He's the only one I have. Eli, I think, is gone, if I remember right. Didn't Eli leave? I can't think of his last name. But
Eli Miller.
Yeah, Miller. Is he gone?
And then Van Westing was a fullback, and he transferred. Because they're not going to have a fullback. They're just going to, Hayden Large last year used as that U-back.
Yeah, tight end.
Yeah, he's a third tight end, and come in there and run on running plays.
They will.
That's what he'll be this year because they're not listing in this book I'm looking at. They're not listing a fullback this year.
Right, it will be Hayden Large, but they'll use a fullback in certain situations. They have plays that will have a fullback in there, but they're not going to use it as their normal offense. No.
I just know that they told the other fullbacks to transfer. So.
Okay, then so that was the lone fullback. But okay, my X receiver, and I'm so excited for both of these guys. Both X receivers. It's going to be Vanderzee as the starter and Dayton Howard as his backup at the X. They're both 6'4" receivers. They both fit the X position perfectly. I absolutely love both of them. I hope to see Dayton Howard on the field more. It'd be nice to see both of them on the field at the same time than having that size. Because one of them could play the Z in some formations as well. That get them both on the field, but they're huge. My Z receivers are Jacob Gill. I have starting. Seth Anderson I have as his backup with Caden Weegen. But I think Caden Weegen is going to be more of a play call type of receiver. He just struggles running routes. Like he just doesn't understand route running. So they want to get him the ball. So I think he's going to be doing a lot of the fly sweeps, they'll have him run certain routes, but he won't be on the field a lot on offense.
Okay.
Except for the plays going to him for the most part.
Can I interject on the wide receivers what this Big Ten magazine has?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know the difference between a Z and X or a slot, but
your X
First, let me do this real quick.
Okay.
Jacob Gill is listed as a starter, being backed up by Legion. Seth Anderson's listed as another starter with backup by Sam Phillips. And then you got this one right. Vander Z backed up by Dayton Howard.
Yeah, I don't. This is my projections. I don't listen to all that other jazz.
I know. I'm just comparing. I'm going along with you, kind of comparing their two.
Right.
And to interject here, Jason probably knows more about them than that damn magazine. So.
Yeah, I don't listen to the magazines.
Yeah.
But this is where you guys can, when you see the opening day roster or whatever, or the play calls, you'll know if I'm right or wrong. Mm-hmm. But I have Seth backing up Gil as the Z. But to answer your question, the X is the receiver that's usually the farthest away from the ball.
Okay.
I'm sure Lester's that way. I'm guessing because he does have the big receivers as the X's. So I think he's on that same at most OCs are. But my slot, this is your third wide receiver. When we go 3 wide receivers, I have Sam Phillips as a starter. I'm hearing great things about him. Quickness, route running speed. He's going to be the perfect slot guy. And I have Seth Anderson as the other slot with KJ Parker. KJ Parker's another one that I'm hearing that's making moves.
Yeah.
So
he's in my top 8 receivers. My top 8 receivers, but he's not in the 2 deeps right now.
Yeah. Well, I have him as a slot. So I wouldn't he's not in the 2 deep because Sam Phillips and Seth Anderson would be my 2 slot guys when they go 3 wide receiver sets. But KJ Parker and Caden Wetjen, I have as backups in the slot. You'll see. I don't know if you'll see KJ Parker because I believe he's a freshman, but I'm hearing good things about him. I think we're going to see Caden Wetjen in the slot, just like we did last year. So those are my receivers. Those are all the skill positions on offense that I have. Now, at left tackle, here's another one. I mean, I have circled Trevor Locke. I don't believe this. I shouldn't. They're going to start Jack Dotzler, I think, because of his age. But I think by season's end, Trevor Locke will be the starter. I'm hearing so many great things about that kid. I think he should start right away. But Jack's put in his time and work. I guess if it's even, you go with Jack. But I do believe on opening day, Jack will be the starter because of his age. Left guard, I have Bo Stevens. I think that's a given. And then his backup is Leighton Jones. That's what I have. I don't know who your backup is in your magazine, but You've gotten
it right so far. You're right on so far.
Okay. Backup I have is Leighton Jones as the left guard. Logan Jones is center. Everybody knows that. Well, my backup is Cale Winter. That makes me nervous as heck. But
that's who they got listed here too. They must know something that I don't know.
But Kelvin said Leighton Jones has practiced, and Mislinski, who, if I remember right, he's never been healthy enough to even play, right?
No, but he's a lifetime center. They just want him. All these guys are going to float. You know how Kirk coaches offensive line. Leighton Jones is a floater. Mislinski,
But center is a tricky position. I mean, you got to have that. You got to have that quick twitch to play center successfully.
Yeah. And you want a center who practices with the quarterback all week because the snaps can be problematic.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
That is very true. Okay, at right guard, this is where I'm just guessing, right, on this one. I have Cade Piper as a starter with Pieper, however, with Mislinski as the backup. Right? But that's if he stays healthy. I mean, I think he's just been hurt his whole career. But I got Cade starting. That's the one position on the offensive line I am nervous about is the right guard. Right tackle, Jennings, the dunker. But I heard Cannon Leonard, his backup, I have that circled. I heard that Cannon Leonard is showing some good things. So I guess we'll see.
What about Bryce George, the senior transfer from South Dakota State?
I haven't heard hardly anything about him. So we'll find that out in the summer, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
he's actually listed as the backup to Dunker, but
on
this, but they'll work that out in camp.
Yeah. I have Tanner Leonard there because of what I've heard about him.
Okay.
So, but Jennings Dunker obviously is going to take and run with it. They've been discussing making him left tackle, but apparently that confuses him. Like he feels so much more comfortable on the right side. Like it confuses him to go to the left side. So I think he'll stay at the right tackle. Tight ends, I think this is common sense, but Addison Ostrenga, Zach Ortworth, and then obviously Hayden Large will be our third. We do have 4 tight ends. We do have more tight ends, but I do not have them wrote down. But I know we have other tight ends on the roster that if anything should happen, they would. Oh, Ike Spites. Is that how you say his name? Spites?
Yeah. He's a long snapper.
Okay, I am as a tight end too.
So he's just a long snapper.
Oh, okay.
The backup tight ends would be the freshman backup tight ends are Bert from Omaha and a guy that's a budding Stars of Walk-On named Vanami.
Yeah.
And he never drops pass. He's like Dallas Clark. He's going to be really good. That's why Gavin Hoffman left. Gavin Hoffman was our second highest recruit, and Vanami just beat him every way for Sunday. Then we got 3 freshman tight ends: Mason Wood, Eli Thompson, and then the highest rated recruit. What's his name? Thomas Meyer.
Okay.
Perfect.
Which is why Hoffman must have transferred. All that competition.
Hoffman was a big, pretty athlete like Connor Colby and everything, but he kept dropping pass after pass. So
okay. All right.
Back to Missouri he went. By the way, he's Sophie Cunningham's cousin. So.
Oh.
That's a private joke between Paul and Calvin. You ever go through and read that thread with him and Paul talking about Sophie Cunningham?
Yeah,
I was about gagging the whole time.
He is Sophie's cousin.
I know that part. I knew that.
Yeah.
I was just talking about the conversation you and Paul had about her.
Yeah.
Probably something to do with Gabby too, huh? Was that the same type of conversation?
Well, Paul's in love with Sophie just like he was Gabby.
Okay. And I do have I am interested in your top 8. Do you have your top 8 receivers? Have you already done them, or are you doing those? Because I do have Jarrett Bowie in here as well, but he just can't stay healthy. I actually like the kid.
Okay, you got those 6, and then add for me it's KJ Parker and Jared Bowie.
Okay,
those are my top 8.
Yeah, those would be my top 8 as well, because I do have KJ Parker as well. But I have Jarrett Bowie down at the bottom as just an extra receiver that I think could see the field if he can stay healthy. The dude can catch the ball very well. It's just he's always hurt. And I just think it has something to do with Kirk's hating 7-on-7. A lot of these receivers and stuff would play if they would just do 7-on-7 instead of beating the hell out of each other. But Kirk don't think 7-on-7 is football, so
that's all they did all summer was quarterback throwing to wide receivers. But yeah, I got wedging at the number 9 wide receiver on the depth chart because he just every coach, Lester and Ferentz, just keep saying he's got to learn. You got to learn to catch the ball. He's got to learn to run. He doesn't focus. He's like Caleb Johnson was until last August, And
by the way, he has another year of eligibility if he wants it.
Yep.
Right, Jim?
Yes, because they took away the junior college stuff. That doesn't count against him anymore. So all of a sudden, he now has one more year. He'll be like a 7-year guy on this team.
And then wedging in an interview, he said he wants to concentrate on what do you call the guys that run down on the end when you punt off, when
Gunners.
you punt?
Gunners.
He wants to be a gunner this year to help his NFL career. That shows he can do more than just return kicks and punts. So.
Okay.
I mean, he has the speed if he can find the ball in the air.
And that's the job. That's the job I would think if they can tackle. Wetchen isn't the most physical guy in the world. But that's a job that Brevin Dahl will probably
He's a physical
do quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway.
So you guys were talking about earlier about the long snapper. We did ask Reese Dakin on that podcast who he thought his long snapper would be because Calvin asked that question, I believe. And
my question,
he did not answer it. He wouldn't answer it.
Well, he doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
My question was, because I was interested in it, I said, is Mason Woods and Bert the tight end? Bert the tight end was that a backup long snapper in the spring game. That's why they missed so goddamn many field goals and kicks.
Oh.
And anyway, I said, is Bert and Mason Woods, how are they doing trying to be long snappers? And Reese goes, how do you know that? It's because I read and I listen, And anyway, he goes, no, that didn't last long. They gave up the ghost. And so now it's Speltz, and then the transfer from Arizona State and who's from Boston College, who's a senior this year.
I didn't even know we had a transfer from Boston College. That's news to me.
The only question that I wanted was to ask him if he kicks in the garbage cans, if he corner kicks in the garbage cans, because that's what I do with my quarterbacks. Is where I would have them throw like fade routes, but I tell them to try to get it in that garbage can to teach them to throw to a spot. And I know I've heard of a lot of punters that do that same thing. So I was just wondering if Iowa did that, but I don't know if you guys ever asked that.
And then the other thing that came out was Ty Nissen's back.
Yep.
Because he went to junior college, so he got another year, and that's very important because he's the holder.
Yeah, he is.
And boy, what's the name of our Drew? What's the name of our kicker?
Drew Stevens.
Drew Stevens was so screwed up in the spring game because he had a snapper and who was trying to hold? Dakin was trying to hold. Because
Really?
they like to use a punter as a holder. I don't know why.
I always thought they used to back.
And by the way, Dakin, I asked another question of Dakin in that thing. I said, can you throw the football? No, he did not.
That's right. You're right. He said
just let me finish. I go, okay. Can you throw the football in case of a fake? And he goes, I can throw the rock. But he said, I cannot run. The defense doesn't have to worry about me running. So anyway, I'm done.
He never played rugby.
I don't know. He played that football, Australian rules football, but whatever that is.
Watch it on TV sometime. It's kind of weird.
I'll skip that.
Okay, my starting defense. If we can get there.
Yeah, go for it. We're gonna let you. We gotta do a little less talk and let you talk more.
Couple old white dudes over here arguing over a punter. Good Lord.
Well, I had to quote him accurately. Good Lord.
No, that was my fault. I got carried away. All right, go for it.
I'm just messing with you. Okay. Now I don't have like the left tackle, right tackle, stuff like that. So my defensive tackles are obviously Aaron Graves and Jeremiah Pittman. I don't know what side each of them are going to be on, but one will be left, one will be right. But my backups to them are Will Hubert and Jonah Pace, the transfer. I've heard a lot of good things about Jonah. So I think with Will as well, maybe they'll rotate the three of them, Aaron Graves will obviously probably stay on the field as much as possible. They'll bring him off for some breathers and stuff. But those are my four. I don't know what your darn magazine says, but those are my four.
Oh, no, it's Kenneth Merriweather.
Yeah,
That's
that's
defensive end.
Yeah. No. My eyesight's not as good with only one eye. Bryce Hawthorne and Jonah Pace they listed as the two backups.
Who'd you say the other
one? Bryce Hawthorne and Jonah Pace.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do like Hawthorne, but I have Will Hubert there instead.
Okay.
Now my defensive ends, and like I said, I did not do left and right, but Max Llewellyn and Ethan Herkett are obvious, right? Now, my guy, I absolutely love this kid. I hope to see him in the Raider package, is Joseph Anderson. I don't know if you have anything to say about him, Kelvin, but I heard a lot about Joseph. I absolutely love this kid. He's a redshirt freshman. I would love to see him as an outside rusher in the Raider package. He's got speed. And I have Merriweather as the other backup defensive end.
What about Brian Allen?
I did not have Brian Allen in there, but I put Joseph Anderson and Merriweather in there, but I think Brian Allen's going to play, obviously. But I heard he's been dealing with some things, so I guess we'll find out about that. But I do.
You want me to interject or not, Jason?
Yeah, go ahead with the Joseph.
Okay, Brian Allen at the end of the season had shoulder surgery, and then to fix one thing in his destroyed shoulder. And then this summer, he got his second surgery after spring practice that he sat out. So that's why he wasn't in the spring depth chart, which he was the number 2 defensive end last year. Joseph Anderson needs to quit. He needs another year. He's got to quit looking like a basketball player. He's got to put another 15. Great athlete,
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen him yet. Maybe maybe this summer he's been working that weight up. Maybe
I'm hoping that's why I said specific, like you did with AJ Epinesa as a freshman and sophomore. Mm-hmm. You can do those type of things with Joseph Anderson. Like in the Raider package, have him rush the passer with his speed and athleticism around the outside.
All right. Does Jose how's how you say it? Jose Epinesa, does he get on the field this year?
Yeah.
I mean, that's up to him. I don't have him on the depth chart at all. I don't know much about him other than his high school tape, but I do not evaluate defensive
Well, I guess he's projected more as a tackle than an end. And I always thought that, he just following his brother's footstep and be an end as well.
Doesn't he have an end's body? I don't think he has a defensive tackle's body. That's interesting. That's why I did not.
Everybody says he looks just like AJ, but he don't. He's a little bit shorter and a little stockier.
Oh,
so he could end up inside some if he gains weight, or he could be on the edge. I don't.
Right. I don't have him in there. I don't have him in there only because I do not evaluate defensive line.
Just pretend his name is spelled Jose in he's Spanish. That's how you pronounce his name, Jose. So
that's not how they're pronouncing it.
They say Jose like that.
Well, it's I. It's an I, not a J.
I know that, but I'm saying that's how you pronounce it.
Jose. Okay.
I mean, I used to say loose. I thought it was an L. So I used to say loose before I learned. Okay, my Leo, which is the strong side for those of you. I think I want to say Iowa calls it Leo, but it's the strong side linebacker. Put it that way.
Yeah.
There's another kid I really love in this, but I think Jackson Rexroth will get the start because of his age. However, I love Derek Weiskopf. I have him circled. He's another redshirt freshman, came in with Joseph Anderson, that I just hope he gets playing time this year. I really think he could sneak ahead of Jackson throughout the season as if they give him some playing time. Let's hope we get some blowouts, get him on the field. I love this kid. My middle linebackers are it's Jaden Harrell. We don't have a lot. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Weiskopf move to the middle, but he's too skinny. He weighs like 220, 215, something like that. But he's extremely fast as well, like Joseph Anderson. But Jaden Harrell and Jaden Montgomery, those are my two middle. And then my will, which is the weak side, I think Iowa calls it will. It's the weak side linebacker, is Carson Scherer, and then transfer Landon Van Cackerly.
Okay, I have but I'm gonna stop here just there. I looked up Epenez's how to say his first name. It's Yosei. Yosei.
Mm-hmm.
Yosei. No Jose. Yosei.
Yeah. And anyway, it's Van Kekerix.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm reading my handwriting. I don't know much about that.
We got to mention a defensive end who was the star of the spring game, Chimike.
Oh, yeah. I don't have him there. But
What about Luke Gaffney? We haven't said anything about him yet.
No, I don't have Luke Gaffney.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not. These are, like I said, these are mine. I didn't get this from some magazine.
Yeah.
These are
okay. Oh, and Luke Gaffney's not mentioned in this magazine either, just for the record.
Okay.
He's just a name he's just a name I had on my deeps when I was doing mine deeps.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, those, and I only did two of each. I did the starter and the backups. I didn't do I know we have a lot more middle linebackers. I hope so. I don't like our middle linebackers right now. I think Jaden Harrell could be good, pretty good, not great or anything. But I don't like Jaden Montgomery as a middle linebacker. But we'll find out. It's only my personal beliefs. But okay, those are the linebackers across the board. And I didn't put cash. I just realized I didn't have my cash, but my cash is okay. I'll go through that let me go through the starters and then I'll tell you about my cash. Cornerbacks are TJ Hall is CB1. I think it's already there. But I have Deshaun Lee starting, but I would not surprise for Shaheed Barrows. I have arrows back and forth. I have Shaheed Barrows as somebody who could pop. Now, Shaheed is 6 foot tall. TJ is 6 foot. Deshaun Lee is little. Parker's starting to like the taller kids. So it makes me wonder if Shaheed could find his way to take Deshaun Lee's spot. But
somebody needs
we'll
to.
See. You don't know. He might have gotten better.
I hope so. I hope so, or it's going to be a long season.
But those are my top three corners. But I do have Jalen Watson. I love that kid as well.
Yeah, he's listed here too.
I love Alex Moda. I think he could move up the depth chart as he gets more experience as a DB. Other than his size, I wouldn't mind him looking at the cash box. He has good ball skills. He just lacks at the route running and stuff like that. But he does have great ball skills. And then I have Rashad Godfrey. I just threw him in there because Rashad Godfrey Jr. I like that kid as well, but I don't think he's going to see any playing time, but he might. My strong safety is Cone Entringer as a starter. Now I think he'll end up in cash, which will put Zach Lutner back there at strong safety. I like Zach Lutner as well, but I do like Cohen as the cash. And then I have Ty Hutkins as a transfer. Now he could be the backup free safety and the backup strong safety. He could also, work on the cash, but the cash takes a lot to learn. That's why I think Cohen, because he's been in the program for a long time. He knows that position as well. It'll be easier for him to learn. And Zach is going to be a good safety, I think. And he has the discipline to stay back. Where X always makes me nervous because X always wants to make a play instead of staying back. So he likes to come up. But my free safety is X. And then Cale Kolarek is the backup free safety. But I also have Ty Hutkins there because I think Ty could do either one of those positions. I guess it just depends on how it works out for the roster. And then my other CBs that I love, that I hope see playing time, my other corners are Tegan Davis and Taiwan Chase. I love those two. They have. I heard Taiwan's getting healthy. I don't know if that's true or not, but they both have speed. And then I don't know this one, but I have Zion Armstead wrote down. I must have knew something about him at the time as another corner. Does your magazine have anything about Zion Armstead?
No, not even mentioned.
Okay.
I've never heard of Armstead or Chase.
Okay.
They're not on my roster.
Okay. That's who I have as some corners that I was looking at the time. I know Tegan Davis, but like I said, I made this list. We were supposed to do this show a long time ago.
Yes.
But I have them as backup corners, like not playing corners, but just on the list as corners. But I don't know. But Tegan Davis is one that I do really like. Tegan Davis.
He retired around bowl time.
Who did?
But Tegan Davis, he hasn't played for 2 years because he tore up his leg, and Kirk announced at the Big Ten media day that Tegan has he had nerve damage in his leg and knee, couldn't feel his leg. And a couple months ago, he made his return, and Kirk is very happy about it. So
he's back though, right?
Yeah, he tore up his leg. He tore up his leg playing running track his senior year in high schools. That's why he hadn't been on. He's been listed on the roster. Then they took him and Cody Fox off the roster the same time in January because Cody Fox or something's up with him. He just retired from football.
Yeah, yeah. I knew he did.
And Tegan Davis did too, but Tegan made her miraculous recovery in the last 6 months, and Kirk said he come back like a month ago and said I can do it. So he's very happy. Kirk's very happy that he's back.
Well, that's good because I do like Tegan Davis. I have no idea why I have Taiwan Chase and Zion Armstead. I don't know where I got those two.
I've never heard of them. But
did you do the linebackers yet, or did I miss that?
No,
he did it. He did it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, these DBs that I'm talking about with Tegan are at the bottom of my page are just like players that I liked or something. I don't know. I don't know why I did it.
They have a real good true freshman cornerback named I think it's CJ Bell from Connecticut.
Yeah.
That's one position that Phil will play a true freshman is cornerback. Because all you got to do is be a natural. If you can cover, if you're a natural cover guy, you don't have to learn that much.
Okay.
You know,
all right,
cover
Jason,
your guy. Right?
Okay. Jason, I got a couple questions for you. Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out where I got those two names from.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First of all, when you play your college football 26, are you using some of these guys that you named today?
Yeah. When I play the game, if I'm being honest with you, I don't play the starters that the game has. I play Joseph Anderson as the outside defensive end, and I play Weiskopf as the outside defensive end on the other side. Just because that's the way I dream of them both being in the Raider package. I only play them in certain positions. Like I don't use them as a starters or I'd get killed. Okay. But I play them at certain positions. Like in real life, I would love to see both of those guys in the Raider package. You guys know what the Raider package is? You know what I'm saying?
I don't personally know.
You don't? The Raider
I heard
package.
I heard it talked about.
What's it called, Jason, where they put two defensive ends in where the defensive tackles are?
Yeah, Iowa just rotates that.
Last year they moved when it was obvious passing situations. Out would come Black and Graves and Brian Allen, and then they'd move the Deontay Craig in there, and they'd be the defensive tackles, and then they'd have Llewellyn and Herkett at defensive end.
Yeah, they call that something else. I'm not sure what they call it, but in passing situations, that's what but they also use that package. The Raider is when you see everybody standing up. When you see all of the defense standing like third and long, they stand up and they're moving around, so the offensive line don't know who to block.
The good old Chauncey Golston formation.
Yeah. Do you remember that, Dean? Do you remember those plays when you see the defense just moving around?
Yes.
They're standing up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they'll also do what Kelvin just said. They'll put two pass rushing defensive tackles that are actually defensive ends on normal plays.
Yeah, I think what I was talking about is just called a pass rush package, probably, right?
Yeah,
where they don't want the big fat guys in the middle getting tired.
Right. They want more speed, which is why I would love to use in real life for them to see Derek and Joseph get after the quarterback from the outside edges.
Okay.
But yeah, I did go through the linebackers. The middle, I'm a little nervous about the linebackers. I'm not going to lie, but they are.
Well, because after Harold and Scherer, there isn't anybody.
There's 5 freshmen.
Yeah.
There's three redshirt freshmen, Buffington, Reese, and Weiskopf, and then there's 2 unbelievable athletes, Cooney and Goucher, from over in Illinois that are true freshmen. And then all I know is they asked Seth Wallace. Kirk asked him, "Hey, do you need any transfers?" And he goes, "I'm good." He goes, "I got a good room," So
I know a lot of Iowans are asking about Buffington. Like, he's one that a lot of people in Iowa can't wait for him to see the field. Did he come from a small school in Iowa or something?
His mother is Kittle and Settles and Kriegel Kober's cousin, Kriegel Kobe. They're all from the same female line down to Winfield, Iowa.
Okay, all right.
Well, they are. There was us people that live in this area. We know that back in the 50s, there was this dairy farmer down there, and he had 5 daughters who were the best athletes in the Winfield area, great basketball players and everything. Anyway, one daughter married a Settles. One daughter married Bruce Kittle. One daughter married is it Krieger Coble?
Yeah.
And the daughter's named Krieger, and the father was named Coble. And then this Buffington is from the next generation, Cam Buffington, and he runs a 4.45 40 at 240 pounds. That's what he come in at Iowa at. Yeah. And by the way, if you want to know the weights, the new weights are now up. Weiskopf does not weigh 215 anymore.
What's he weigh?
230 or something.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And they really like him, but they like all of them. It's like, who's going to play? When it's time. I don't think any of them's going to play much this year, but.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping for Joseph Anderson and Derek Weiskopf. I love those kids.
Yeah.
So what's Anderson's weight right now?
2. Anderson come in at he was a high 400-meter high hurdler, and then he was a triple jump guy. So he looked like a basketball player, like 6'5", 215 coming in. And now he's up to only 230. He's to be a defensive end, unless they put it in some special package, he's got to get up to 250 or something next year or something. But,
yeah. And that's why you're 100% accurate, Kelvin. That's why I said I would love to see him in the Raider package. You can't put these kids on the field on every single down. I mean, they'll get killed and it wouldn't even work.
That Chime Chimike from Texas, who's in Joseph Anderson's class with Drew Campbell.
Yeah.
I mean, he was ready to play as a true freshman, and he just started in the spring game. You know, I guess Phil was a little perturbed with him that he didn't always he played defense more natural instead of sticking to the game plan. But
that's why AJ Epinesa didn't see the field when Hawkeye fans get mad. He led the Big Ten in sacks, but he could not stop the run. So
he couldn't seal the edge.
Yeah, the only thing he could do is rush the passer, and that's what they used him for. Third down, and that's what he was great at. So,
and then Drew Campbell had a shoulder operation. That's why he didn't practice in the spring, and his shoulder's still healing up, and he's not gonna be back. That's Jack Campbell's brother. He's not gonna be. Kirk said yesterday might be able to practice by the middle of September, but.
I will say this, and I think only Dean and a couple others know this, but I was told that there is so much speed on this defense overall that we're going to see more blitzes this year out of Parker. We're going to see a lot more different things. We're not nearly as stocky as we used to be. We don't have as much girth, but we have a lot of speed. So you'll see the same type of stuff, obviously. We're going to be in zone 90% of the time. But you're going to see a lot more zone blitzes because of the speed and the athleticism that this defense has. And Kelvin's making me feel a little bit better about the middle linebacker spot. Maybe we do have some young kids that
don't really. The only thing you have to worry about on the defense is the defensive backfield. You know, last year we only had 2 guys that weren't benched for long periods of time, and unfortunately, both of them are gone. Mr. Schulte never made a mistake, and Mr. Jamari Harris, who gave us 6 great years at Iowa.
Yeah.
He was like, quarterbacks just didn't throw at him, did they, Jason?
No, they didn't throw at him.
Because he was a cover cornerback.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Okay, here's
it's like, these guys surely learn how to play defense pretty soon in the backfield. And Phil, I have faith in Phil. So.
Okay, can I ask now, finally? Xavier Wampa. He's been a big disappointment his first 3 years. Are we going to see the expectations that we expected out of this 5-star guy when he came to Iowa?
Yes.
This year.
Yes, because they moved him to free safety.
And he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad his first and second year. Last year was just like brain cramp time or something.
Well, the whole defense brain cramp last year. That's why the defense isn't going to be, the defensive backfield isn't going to be near as bad as it was last year. The whole defense had so many brain farts because they were too busy arguing with each other, whining about NIL money. I mean, they were just also mad about it because they all thought they should have got paid as much as the other kid. There was 6 of them, I think, that came back, 5 of them, and they all should have got the same amount.
I thought it was 8, but that's fine.
Maybe it was 8. I'm just guessing. You might be right. I'm just guessing.
Okay, one of the things is
I do know. Well, I'm just going to finish with, I do know a huge reason of the defensive backfall last year across the board was because they weren't in tune with each other like a normal Phil Parker defense, which is why Phil Parker did not get so excited. Towards the middle of the year, it was like Parker didn't even care. I think he got tired of the bickering as well. But go on.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, this magazine lists our top 5 NFL prospects. Xavier is number 2 on the list, which actually surprised me considering, I just don't think he's had a career that would warrant even getting signed as a free agent on the NFL.
He has so much athletic ability that he probably could have switched over to wide receiver. His only issue is he wants to be on every single play.
Okay.
Right? That's his issue. Every time he got burnt deep, like the Iowa State game a year ago, when he gave up that bomb, he fell for the double move. He just wants to make a play. But when that ball's in the air and he's in the area, he has such great ball skills. I have no doubt in my mind he could learn how to run routes. But I think moving him to free safety is going to be a good thing. The reason you didn't see him as much is because he was a strong safety. And when the cash came in, we had Castro.
Yeah.
Right? So, and when the cash went off the field is what I meant to say. Castro went back to his spot, right?
Right, yeah.
So we did have talent in front of X as well. But I think this position move is for the good.
Can I say what Phil Parker said this summer about his problem in his defense last year in the secondary?
Go ahead.
He said I had guys who thought they were better than they were. He said they did not play as they were taught. It's like Castro on that play he gave up in Iowa State to lose the game.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to be in press coverage. He's supposed to Phil's whole defense is keep the guy in front of you and keep an eye on the quarterback. You know, he said, I had guys that thought they were like these great cover guys.
Yeah.
And he said, we don't play coverage.
Yeah. Well,
that's what Phil said anyway. But.
Yeah, either Cone Ettinger or Herkett admitted that when they got a starting spot, they thought they had arrived, and they were humbled really quickly.
Yeah, it wasn't Entringer because he's never had he started one game in his life, but
okay,
Entringer will be the highest drafted defensive back we got.
Anyway,
he's got 2 years left, but
okay, I'm falling in love with that guy. I love everything he had to say when he was talking to the Big Ten guys. Okay, Jason, let's move on to your order of prediction.
Okay, well, I will say I'm going to go with the special teams real quick. Okay. We all know who the kicker, Drew Stevens. His backup is Caden Burr. Punter is Dakin and Ty Nissen. Kelvin's already mentioned him. Mm-hmm. The long snapper is Speltz, like he said. But kick returner, I have Weegen, obviously, but I have Brevin Dahl. He's the only reason I really wanted to say special teams. I just begged. I want to see Brevin back there with Caden. I just think that would be awesome. And then punt returners, I have Caden Weegen, and KJ Parker as the punt returner. There, that's everything I have as far as my prediction for the starting lineup. No matter what Kelvin says, that's mine.
Well, I agreed with 90%. One thing before you start on your standings is what Kirk said yesterday. They asked him about he said, this team, he says, I like this team. And he said, if you ask me to list the 22 starters today, which there's 23 actually, because they have a Cash Leo position. But he said, if you ask me today to list who's the starters, he said, I guarantee you in September, there'll be 7 different ones than there is that I'd list today. He said, because it's a competition at linebacker. It's a competition at he actually said we could have 5 different wide receivers start. That's how deep the wide receivers are and how good they are. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead with your standings.
I agree with definitely agree with the wide receivers.
Yeah. Hey Jason, when you think about it, if you could send me a copy of your 2 deeps so that we can have it for later to see how accurate you were.
Okay. It's my gibberish, so I hope you can read it. I'll redo it and I'll make it look so you can read it better.
All right.
Because it's my scribbles and all kinds of stuff. Okay. So you want my standings prediction?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. You want me to send that to you as well, like I did Kelvin, or just?
I can get it from Calvin. You put it in the Talking Iowa Hawkeyes page, so it's there.
Okay.
I'm going to do a deep dive scientific study of these 5 people's picks, and I guess I might get Brandon's too.
Yeah,
and I'm going to come out with a scientific study of it, and and that way I can, all send our applications to the mental institution at the end of the season.
Kelvin, did you do a standings?
Yeah.
So I kind of want to hear your guys as I say mine. You want me to start from the bottom?
Yeah, you can do whatever way you want.
If you just go through yours, say whatever you want. After you're done, I can give you mine. Dean can give you. I got Dean's written down here, but
Cool. Yeah, why don't you give them both for us, as long as you got them right there in front of you.
I will. And I got Paul. Well, I can't give Paul's because he hasn't done it public yet. But I got Paul's and I got Vandy's.
Oh, okay. Mine at the very bottom is Purdue. I have Purdue at 18.
Minute. I got to start at the bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you're going to write them down, I sent them to you. But if you're going to write them down,
no, he's not. He's just looking.
I'm going to write them. I'm going to write them down.
Okay.
Okay.
Purdue's the 18. 17 is Maryland.
I got it.
16 is Wisconsin.
Good pick.
I just don't. And I have Northwestern. Something about Northwestern I think is going to be better this year than they were last year.
So they're 15th?
Yes. Yep.
Did you know that they have the second rated defense coming back in the conference?
I knew they have. Yeah. Yeah.
Just no offense.
But they have a defensive-minded coach, right? So
I don't know.
They do that. I mean, their style of play on game day is a defensive one. Now you're not going to like this. No, wait. Vandy's not going to like this pick. Not Kelvin. Number 14 is Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
I think, didn't he have like Michigan State at 4th or something? I don't know.
No, he's got Michigan State at 9th.
Oh, okay. I thought he had him higher than that. But Rutgers is my 13th. 13th. And then my 12th is Washington.
By the way, the 13th on Vandy's was Iowa.
Of course.
Did you say Washington 12th?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
We all knew Vandy would have Iowa at round 13.
I think he picked the Big Ten champion was South Carolina.
Oh, Dean's not even listening.
I don't care. It don't matter.
11th is Minnesota.
I like Vandy. I'm just joking. So.
No, I know. I'm joking too.
Yeah.
10th is
Vandy's live on his own show right now, so him hearing this is not going to happen.
Well, we're just
he'll watch the tape or something. 10th?
10th is UCLA.
I have UCLA at 12, just for the record.
Indiana, I have at 9th. Yep. 8th is Nebraska.
Ooh. I hate Nebraska. Go ahead.
So do I. 7, I have USC.
Mm-hmm.
6, I have Illinois. And then 5, I have Michigan.
You know Illinois has the easiest schedule in the Big Ten, don't you?
Yeah, but there's something.
Okay.
I gotta have them to.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta have them prove it to me.
Okay.
5 is Michigan.
Boo.
And then 4 is Iowa.
I wish.
It's gonna happen. It's
Okay.
gonna happen.
That's where I got them.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen, Deans. Don't listen to Vandy.
Me and Jason both have them in 4th. That means they're going to be way down lower.
Hawkaholics composite is Iowa 7th.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the Big Ten poll, which the original Big Ten poll is always from the Cleveland Plain Dealer. I'm sorry I'm interrupting. But the Cleveland Plain Dealer has done the Big Ten preseason poll for literally 60 to 70 years. And they find a veteran person that covers each college, finds 2 of them, whether it's Doctorman and Kakert or who it is from Iowa. So they have 2 from each college, right, that follow that college. And anyway, Iowa come out 7th in that one. And the news was that the team that was just ahead of them was Indiana and then Illinois, I think. No, it was Michigan. And they were 2 points apart in their poll, so they literally tied. So we really tied for fifth. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. 3 is Oregon. I'm not sold on Dante Moore at Oregon, but they have all kinds of talent. If Dante Moore figures it out at QB, Oregon might overtake Penn State. I have number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State at 2, and I have Ohio State repeating.
So I got a question. So do you have Ohio State winning the Big Ten championship game, or the regular season, or both?
Both. I have
Okay.
Ohio State going undefeated.
Yeah.
Okay, so I took Penn State as number 1. I think this is the year that they finally get the big one because they just got way too much talent. But it'll go by what their quarterback does, basically.
But you know who their head coach is, right?
Yeah, Franklin. Okay. But, Franklin can't get them all wrong, right? He has to do something right once in a while.
Big game James Franklin. No, Bobby Stoops was big game Bobby Stoops, and he's little game James Franklin.
Yeah, there you go. But anyhow, when we did this on the Hawkaholics the other night, I actually picked Penn State and Clemson to go in the championship game at the end of the year.
Yeah. I picked Penn State to win the Big Ten too, Paul, but I have other Big Ten teams going farther in the playoffs than little game James Franklin. Go ahead, Dean.
Keep going with your list, buddy.
Oh, okay. Okay, so my number 2 and 3 are flip-flopped on here. When I sent it to him, I screwed it up, but Ohio State's number 2 and Oregon's number 3, but on here it's 2 and 3, Oregon 2.
So which is it?
Well, and honestly,
why don't you just have them tied?
When we did this, I had them both at 11 and 1. So
yeah. And they don't play each other. That's why I have them tied. You should have them tied also.
Yeah, I do. Basically.
Okay.
2 and 3. Okay. 4 is Illinois. I'm just sold on their quarterback and what they've got coming back. I know that this is a prove me year for them, but honestly, with their schedule, there's no reason why they can't rack up some wins. I got Michigan at 5, and I just don't know why. I guess because they're Michigan. And I got Washington at 6. Where did you have Washington, Jason?
He had Washington at 12.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Iowa at 7. Indiana at 8 because we're going to beat them. Minnesota at 9 because we're going to beat them. USC at number 10 because we're going to beat them. Nebraska at number 11 because we're going to beat them. Then number 12 is UCLA. They're just there because, they're almost good, but not quite good enough to crack the top. 13th is Michigan State. 14th is Rutgers. 15 is Wisconsin. 16 is Northwestern. 17 is Maryland. 18 is Purdue. It seems like most of us the consensus bottom 4 are about the same teams. Anyway, I went through that kind of quickly.
I don't know why Vandy has Wisconsin higher, but
he's really sold on Wisconsin. He thinks they're gonna be back to form.
He likes Billy Edwards, who's probably a talent. I don't know, but
they got him from Maryland, I believe.
Yeah, they did. Okay. You want my placings, Jason?
Yes, please.
Okay. First place, as I said, was Penn State. Now I have a bunch of ties, because I looked at the schedule and I have several teams tied at 6 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 5 and 4. So I don't have very many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. I got Penn State number 1, but they're going to crap their pants in the playoffs. Number 2, I have a tie, Oregon and Ohio State, just like Dean, because they don't play each other. And for 4th, I have a 3-way tie, because that's the way my schedule picks came out. Illinois, Iowa, and Washington. Washington's going to have a hell of a team this year. I did a deep dive on them. That quarterback they got completed 80% of his passes when he took the place of that terrible quarterback, Will Rogers. And does he look he's faster than Brad Banks, but he looked just like Brad Banks.
Didn't we face Will Rogers?
Yes, we did.
Okay,
And
that explains it.
they benched him and put in this, is his name Brown or Wilson, whatever.
See,
And
this is what
he completed 80% of his passes, just like Brad Banks did when he was a backup quarterback. And in the ball game, they lost 39-38, and boy, did he have a great game. But anyway, so I have that three-way tie for fourth: Illinois, Iowa, and Washington. For seventh place, then I got a four-way tie: Indiana, Michigan, USC, and Nebraska. Okay. 11th, I hate PJ Fleck, but it's Minnesota. In 12th, my schedule came out to a three-way tie: Michigan State, UCLA, and Rutgers, all right around that 6-6 record for the season. 15 was Wisconsin. This will be his last year. Then
I agree.
well, I think so. I mean, they got the worst schedule. They'll play Alabama. Thank you very much, Barry Alvarez. Well, Barry didn't have nothing to do with it.
Barry had nothing to do with it.
No, it's that McIntosh, and this will be his last year as AD probably. But by the way,
Barry's going to come back and fire everybody and take over the AD and coach the spot again.
By the way, McIntosh was a great offensive lineman at Wisconsin, and McIntosh's boy came to Iowa camp. He's a really good high school lineman. Anyway, so 16, 17, and 18 are probably the same as everybody else. I got Maryland ahead of Northwestern. I don't know why. That's stupid. Loxley can't coach a team that doesn't turn the ball over and have 15 penalties a game. And then 18 is Purdue, and that's mine, which don't really matter.
That's funny.
You see how many transfers Purdue they brought in this year when they were
I
talking on TV?
I looked at every team. I told you how to look at it this week. If you go, let's say you want to look at Rutgers 2 deep. Rutgers 2 deep. Google will show you, and you click on our lads. You click on there, it'll show you the 3 deep, and it'll tell you every projected starter that was a transfer. Most of these Big Ten teams literally have 13, 14 transfers.
Is our lads a website or something?
Well, hell yeah. But they're the most, in my experience the last few years, they're the most accurate. And then each player is got a color, and it'll say TR after their name and what class they are. TR stands for transfer. And you can click on their name, and it'll open up and tell you where they played.
Sounds good. I'll have to look into that.
But it's really handy. I clicked on USC. USC has like 6 defensive linemen. Last year they didn't have a defensive line worth of crap. This year they spent a bunch of money. They got 6 defensive linemen that weigh 300 pounds or more. And then their offensive line,
Yeah, they're going to be tough to beat this year, especially in Los Angeles.
Illinois and Iowa and Northwestern are the ones that have the fewest transfers that are projected starters.
Iowa Kirk he's still with the philosophy that I'm going to build my team with high school people, and then we're going to fill in with transfers to fill needs, and that's fine. And
you have to, like, all these teams, I could list them: Michigan State, Washington, Rutgers, Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, UCLA, Nebraska. They all spent just unbelievable amount of money on nil this year.
Well, that's because they won't be able to spend that kind of money next year.
I don't know, but they did the same thing the year before, But
I need to correct Kelvin's lies about Mike Leach's quarterback and Will Rogers. Will Rogers completed 70% of his passes. He never got replaced. He got hurt, but the whole year they used Williams as a running quarterback. Rodgers threw for 2,500 yards at 71% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns. They promised him to run the air raid. Will Rodgers is an air raid quarterback. Now, Williams Jr.
Williams started the last 3 games.
He didn't start. Rodgers got hurt, and then Williams came in, but Williams only threw 100 passes. He completed 78%. So Rodgers completed 71%. Williams completed 78%. Williams passed for 900 yards.
8 touchdowns and 1 interception in like 3 games.
Well, no, he played the whole year.
Very sparingly.
He even played against Iowa. Williams played against Iowa. He came in and they ran the ball. His QBR was only 84.
Just like Brad Banks. So. Well, that's all Brad Banks did when he come in.
Against Louisville in the bowl game where we know not all the starter. 4 of his touchdown passes came in that one game against Louisville.
I know,
but
he's the quarterback.
I just wanted to correct it because he played all year long, but he was a running quarterback.
Yeah, but before he started starting, he just come in for a few plays in a game, like in a running situation or something, like Brad Banks did his first year at Iowa.
No, he played a lot more than Brad Banks did, though, his first year.
Well, yes.
He played all year long is what my point is.
Brad Banks didn't know the offense.
No, he didn't. That's why he wasn't a starter. But don't say that too loud. Everybody who thinks Brad Banks
Brad tells you he wasn't ready to play that first year. He doesn't know why people were wanting him in there that first year.
Just because he had talent, but he didn't know that's why they had a Brad Banks package.
It's because he was a second string quarterback. It's always the most popular man on campus. So.
It always is. It always is. Except when Beathard was playing, because he was the backup before, and then after he got to be the starter, there was no favorite second teamer after that.
No, when you have Nate Stanley, nobody wanted the second string quarterback to play.
Oh, shut up! He was the true freshman. He just wanted.
When Nate Stanley, after he started starting, most people couldn't even name who the backup quarterback was.
Nate Stanley came in as sophomore and threw 26 touchdowns.
I know. I'm saying the crowd wasn't chanting for his replacement. That was what I said.
Who was the backup quarterback to Nate Stanley?
I don't know. Wiegert maybe one year. I don't know.
It was Wiegert.
And Wiegert was a pretty good quarterback. He went off and
what? Eastern Illinois or something, right? Is that
wait.
I was thinking like some Central Michigan or Western Michigan or something, but I don't know.
Wasn't Petrus the backup to Nate Stanley?
Last year.
Yeah, Stanley's last year, yeah.
Not until 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay, guys. This has gone on for almost an hour and a half. I think I'm going to can the QB thing tonight. This has gotten quite long.
That's fine. Yeah.
We're good. So I'm going to have to go back and re-edit this later. But however, I'm a little sad. I guess Friday night's not a good night because 0 views all night long. Nobody popped in and out at all tonight.
Well, who knew you were going to be on?
Oh, I advertised it all over Facebook.
I seen you advertise it a couple hours before we come on, but
I usually do that. I usually do that because people forget. If I can do it 2 to 3 hours beforehand.
I mean, that's fine.
People have a tendency to remember better. But you know how that is.
If you'd have said Paul was going to be on, we'd have had 200 views.
Yeah.
But see, good old Paul.
Yeah. But you know how that goes when you know about something and you forget, because I knew about the Swarm. You sent me the link, and I didn't get in on the Swarm Zoom. And I was really. And once you asked me if I watched it, I go, "Oh shoot!" I totally blew it off.
Did I tell you about the question I asked him?
You did. You can tell the people.
He commented on the Swarm Lounge. People were commenting about how sick I was and had cancer, and he said, "Kelvin, if there's anything I can ever do for you," and I said, "Just keep cashing my checks." I said, but anyway, and he laughed. But anyway, I said to him, I'm the one that asked the question you hated last night. It was the question I asked another question, about who's looking good in practice and everything, because he gets the inside information up there and everything. But my second question, Jane kind of made a face when I made it. I said, Brad, what's your biggest public mistake as swarm head?
And he told you.
And Jane goes, that's a pretty good question. And then she said it in her own words. What's your biggest public mistake in this job? And he said, that is a great question, but I hate it. And he said the way I blew up about Barta was his answer.
He turned everybody off
Because it hurt the swarm way too much, asking for private emails and all that. That was a mistake, and he was very honest. So anyway.
Yeah, guys, I think we need to get out of here. Guys, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Again, hit the subscribe button. It's right there in front of you. Hit the like button. Leave me a comment or these guys a comment. I'll get it to them. And then share it. Please, by all means. And we'll be back this Sunday. And we got a few things we're going to do. Kelvin thinks I put a lot on our plate, but I think we can do it. And
if we covered all the news from the Big Ten media conference, it would take freaking 2.5 hours. So
yeah, we're gonna hit the highlights from the media days and talk, specifically more Iowa, but we do want to kind of talk a little bit about what some of the Big Ten coaches said that kind of struck me. Anyway, guys, it was good. Thank you for being here. Jason, take care of yourself and just let me know when you're ready to come back.
All righty. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Go Hawks.